Well, the weekend is coming to a close, as you know it, but it doesn't mean that we have to stop talking about pro wrestling in every way possible. Today, we have, of course, the latest Gatoh Move show from ChocoPro 153. We even got, of course, a past event from June by CyberFight Festival, which is a collaboration of three promotions: Pro Wrestling Noah, DDT Pro Wrestling, and Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. And finally, the latest pay per view by Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, with four major title defenses. So, let's get started with another episode of the Leader Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Leader Wrestle Zone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay right here. So let's go with the latest Choco Pro show by Gatoh Move. This is episode number 153. Opening match, we have John Shiru taking on Sawadadi Kamen. Now, I wasn't too much pumped on this one, but however, I was amazed how Chon was able to win this match. Now, if you guys don't know about Choco Pro, then you guys are missing out. However, if you have, you know what I'm talking about. They can use the wall into their own advantage. Sean, on the other hand, used it as a way to make a pinfall. You know how he used, like, when people are trying to, wrestlers cheat, they use the ring ropes to do that. But in this case, Sean was smart enough to open the window and use his feet as a way to make the pinfall on a common in every way possible. So I thought that was a pretty good way, but he did took the win, but it wasn't declared by the ref, being portrayed by Mei Shiruga, that it was illegal. Now, if there was, I would have known about it. Or it all depends what Emi Sakura would say. Now, the next match is, of course, the Best Bros teaming up once more. Mei Shiruga and Balin Aki taking on Tokiko Kirihara and, of course, the veteran Masa Takanashi. Now, Masa Takanashi has he has been making headways as his return for wrestling ever since he's been out for a year and a half. But however, this was a tough battle for the Best Bros. As you know, Takanashi has been hell bent to destroy the Best Bros in every possible, since they are now the current top tag team in Choco Pro. But what he's not even the kind of guy who would never collaborate with anybody unless it's Emi Sakura. But fortunately, Emi Sakura is not there anymore. She's currently here in the States, going full time with AEW. But it was a good match. I love it. And it was the Best Bros to pick up the victory on this one. And then finally, the main event. Excuse me. We have Chiko Ishikawa taking on Yuna Mizumori. Now, she's all energy, but Yuna, she is a fighter. That's what I like about this match. Like two different combinations, but she has her moments where she loses her matches. But however, when she does win, she's all happy as a clown. But in this case, it was Yuna who actually picked up the victory when she powerbombed her completely with the 1, 2, 3. But it did not end the show there. We had another series of jogging tournament. It was still unclear, but however, I was surprised once again we see these two in the finals. We see Mizumori, and Chi make it to the finals, but however, we thought she could have it, win the Jokin, but nope, it was Yuna, and ate the chocolate right in her face. So, it's embarrassment, but hopefully next time she will be lucky. But right now, let's move on with CyberFight Festival 2021. Alright, so we got CyberFight Festival 2021. Now, for those who are not familiarized with this event is the name of the company that owns DDT Pro Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Noah, and Tokyo Yoshi Pro. This is a collaboration from all three promotions in one event, and this one is one of the most fascinating collaborations I've ever witnessed. Now, it, in this particular match, we have a triple threat main event. Triple threat main event, meaning the top titles from all three promotions are put on the line. On Tokyo Yoshi Pro side, we have the Princess of Princess title on the line. From DDT, the KOD openweight title is also on the line. And finally, from Pro Wrestling Noah, the GHC heavyweight title is also on the line. But there are matches here that we have, like some matches are uh, where we have Noah versus DDT, and then there's just the straight up matches for uh, Tokyo Yoshi Pro since they're not collaborating with another Yoshi promotion. But it's cool, it's fine, that's how it works. And of course, there's the straight up matches, mostly like matches for Noah and matches for DDT. And that's how I think it's pretty fun. So let's go with start to finish. The beginning of the opening match is a Noah versus DDT. For the Noah side, we got Kinya Okada and Junta Miyawaki taking on from DDT Toi Koijima and Yuki Ino. Now, this was another fascinating match because I look at Kinya Okada and Junta Miyawaki, two of the most well disciplined wrestlers in Pro Wrestling Noah. And from what I saw, Junta was able to put uh, Toy Kojima in his place when he put him in a some sort of like a leg log Ron Miller special type submission. I don't know if it's the same one, but it did force Toy Kojima to tap out. Now the next match is coming from Tokyo Yoshi Pro. We have a three-way tag team match. First team we got the former Princess Tag Team Champions, the Bakuratsu Sisters, Yuki Unio, Nodaka Temna, taking on Hyper Masawa, and Shoko Nakajima taking on Hakuchumu, consistent of Mio Watanabe and the former Princess of Prince champion, Rika Tatsumi. It was a fun match. As you know, whenever Hyper Misawa or Choco are involved, they always get everything straight up. But now, for me, I thought it was gonna be the Bakuretsu sisters who were gonna win this one because they are a dominant faction. But it was the superhero and her best friend who picked up the victory on this one. So Hyper Masawa and Choko Nakajima won this one. Now the next match is another Noah versus DDT. For the DDT side, we have Super Sasadango Machine and Danshuko Dino taking on Noah, members of Sugi Uragun, consistent of Kazushi Sakunabi and Takashi Sigura. This was a very interesting match. Now, this entire time, Super Sasadango and then Shuko have been trying to get both these guys to laugh. But they were smart enough. They know they can't laugh. They want to take things seriously. So they decided to wear custom made masks similar as Super Sasadango's machine's mask. And I thought it worked. Nothing phased. Now, the only person that they were able to make laugh was, of course, what was it? It was Kazushi. He was the only one. But Takashi, no, he's the more serious type. Not only that, Denshiko even tried to kiss Kazushi, but no, he missed. But however, it was Sugihiro Gun who picked up the victory, all thanks to Takashi, who put them out for good. Now, the next match is a singles match in Noah versus DDT. We got Masa Kitamiya, who recently just fled um, Congo, taking on DDT's Hideki Okatani. Now, to me, it was a no-brainer. You look at Masaki Yamida, who is a powerful dude, a big dude, a heavyweight. But Hideki, he may be under the guise and guidance of Jun Akiyama, part of the Junretsu, but he was still no match for him. Now, the next match is another Tokyo Yoshi Pro match in a 6-woman tag team match. We have one team, Marika Kobayashi, Yuki Kamifuko, and of course, the cutest girl in the world, Maki Ito, taking on Yuki Arai, Mizuki, and of course, our Hikari Noa, who is the current International Princess Champion. I thought the match was great, especially when Yuki and Maki faced off each other prior before this match. You see, Yuki, it was just like Maki Ito. They were both idols, singers, and now they're in the wrestling game. But however, Maki Ito is the strongest and has the more experience to her. But looks like there was no way. And Maki Ito was the one who picked up the victory for her team on this one um, when she pinned Yuki Arai on this one. Now the next match is a straight up Noah's match, but this time it's from the junior division. As you know, there's been mentioned time before where the junior heavyweight factions are now at each other's throats. You know, who is trying to determine who is the strongest junior heavyweight faction within Noah. But this time we have Stinger, who have been the top faction in the Noah Juniors. We have is consistent with Yoshinari Ogawa, Hayata, and Seki Yoshioka, taking on Momonoshin Tag, consistent of Azushi Kotoge, Daisuke Erada, and of course the newest friend, Hajime Ohara. And I thought it was a pretty good match because Stinger at this point already lost the the junior heavyweight tag team titles to um, Hagen, to Ohara and Daisuke. So basically, Kotoge, Arada, and Ohara are the current top group who has all three titles. So this is something unique. Whoever has all titles on this one for the junior heavyweight division are the strongest faction, and that proves they are right now. But in this particular match, it continues to prove that they are. But it was what's her name, Kotoge, who put um, uh, Yoshioka out of his misery when he put him down completely to pin him with the 1-2-3. I thought it was a pretty good match to begin with. Now the next match is just a straight up DDT match. We have Damnations, Daisuke Sasaki, Soma Takao, and Tetsuya Endo, along with Matt Pauly, taking on 37 Kamina, Mao, and Shun Katsumata, but they're teaming with Chris Brooks. Now, however, in this particular match, there was no story built up, but Damnation have been known as the only heel faction to ever tries to cheat, and they did. Every last member of 37 Kamina and Chris Brooks were low blowed, but it was Tetsuya Endo who actually picked up the victory for his team when he pinned Katsumata. Now, the next match is one of the most fun matches. We have Noah members coming from Noah. We have Kongo, all 6 members. Tadasuke, Niho, Haho, Manabu Soya, Katsuhiko Nakajima and Keno taking on DDT's Shanjiro Takagi, Akito Yukio Naya, Naomi Yoshimura, and Eruption members Yukio Sakaguchi and Kazusada Iguchi. Now, this particular match is played a very important role. Keno has been invited before to participate in many DDT events, but he feels like this is a waste of his time. They're not worth it. But ever since then, he came back just to prove a point, and he started a feud with Tagagi. But however, I did like the moment where he clashes with Yukio Sakaguchi. They're about the same type, where who is the strongest competitor, but it was him who was able to make force him to watch Tagagi, who ever to make him see losing to him. And of course, do I think this is the end between those two? I don't know, but I would like to see it continue more. Now, the next match is the final of the until we get to the triple threat, triple main event. We have Noah, Yoshiki Inamura, and Kaito Kiyomiya taking on DDT's 37 Kamina's Yuki Ino and Konosuke Takeshita. Now, um, Kaido and of course Yukio have been at each other's throats before. They are trying to prove who is the top guy in their division for what they do. And tonight it did prove. I did like the cohesive. They both have the similar styles. Like both Yoshiki Unamura and Konosuke Takeshita are both powerhouses. But you look at Kaido Kiyomiya and Yuki Uno, they're about the same type of ability, fast pace. But however, it was 37 Kamina that won this one when Yukio pinned Kato Kiyomiya once and for all when he made him worn out, and that's what he did on this one. Excuse me. Now, our first triple main event is the Princess of Princess titles. We got the challenger Yuka Sakazaki and the champion Miyu Yamashita. Now, I thought this match was pretty well. Now, Yuka Sakazaki has been champion before, but however, she wanted her title back. She's facing against someone she knows all too well. They both were part of the original lineup, and of course, this leads to who's going to be the top champion. However, from what I can see, this is like old wounds or mixture of how to say how can I put this in words, or resentment between both sides. I don't know, but I have to say it was Yamashita who prevailed on this one. Of course, she is a very respectable person, but Yuka Sakazaki does not appreciate respect unless she is the one who's getting the respect. And of course, she did slapped Miyu when she left. And I thought it was like very uncalled for, but I think it tells a good story in my opinion. Now, this next match is the KOD openweight title between challenger Arashima and champion Jun Akiyama. Now, Arashima is has the similar type of style as Jun Akiyama. They're both strong competitors. You got the old guard and the present guard, and I think that's what it was. But this match, this match ended by referee's decision when he was knocked out by Jun Akiyama. And I don't think he fully was aware, but they had to tell him. Now, our last match of the triple main event is the GHC heavyweight title between members of M's Alliance, Naomichi Marifuji and Keiji Muto. I thought this was a classic match in every way. You look at Keiji Muto, a veteran in his own right, a legend who has been in the wrestling business for far too long, and he has continued to be impressive at his age. But however, now Michi Marufuji, who has surpassed his prime, is determined to continue to show how supreme he can be. But it was Marufuji who was able to beat Muto to once again claim the GHC heavyweight title. And I thought he did a pretty good promo when he called out the other champions. And I thought it showed a lot of character because this is the first time we see an event collaborated from three different promotions, which is something we are going to see soon in October in Bound for Glory with the collaboration with New Japan, AEW, AAA, and of course AEW. And I can't wait to see that collaboration take place. But for now, this show, I say it was pretty darn good. I hope they make this annually. I would love to see more of this one because Tagagi was a genius. How he made it put together, it was the matches were good. I say they picked them maturely and how they were gonna play it out. But like I said, I would love to see this become an annual event for anybody who's a big fan of all three of these promotions. And I think that's pretty much it for this. So let's go with Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. Okay, this is Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. We have four title matches. They were pretty good. The story behind this event, it was already been set up to be at Florida, but however, because of the COVID-19 surge, they moved it to another location, which was fine. But however, the matches were great. Um, let's go from start to finish on this particular event. Opening match, we have Dalton Castle taking on Eli Isom. I thought the match was pretty good, but however, the match was somehow got involved with Dak Draper, who seems like he's kissing the ring to Dalton Castle to win the match. And that's exactly what happened. Basically, his involvement caused Eli Isom his chances of being in the pure division. That's because, if you guys know this or not, the pure division has become something of a thing in Ring of Honor in recent months. But that's pretty much it. Now, the next match we have witnessed the return of Jake Atlas and Taylor Russ, as we all know where they were. They were part of WWE, but they were in the NXT brand, and then all of a sudden they were just released not too long ago. However, Jake Atlas and Taylor Rust are very talented wrestlers. But what I did like about this match is like nothing changed with Jake. However, Tyler Rust continues to prove how dominant he is as a submission specialist, and that's exactly what he did when he forced Jake Atlas to tap out. The next match, we have a six-man tag team match. We have Lee Moriarty, LSJ, and John Walters taking on Violence Unlimited, Chris Dickinson, Tony Deppen, and Homicide. Now, this match showed um, Moriarty, LSG, and Walters that they are willing to fight for the pure division. But Violence Unlimited, they're too violent. They like to use ways to win their matches. That's exactly what they've been known for. But however, because they lost to Violence Unlimited, they receive a surprise visit by the Foundation. But I have to say, Jay Lethal really put up a great promo about the pure wrestling, that style that it definitely credits and to be deserved. And of course, people say it now, and I have to agree with Lethal saying people think of it as something new. No, it's not. It's been around before, but it's just the title itself was deactivated. But I give thumbs up to this promo. Now our next match is a tag team match. We got the OGK, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven taking on the Briscoes. I thought it was a good match because OGK are trying to get back in the hunt for the tag team titles, but the Briscoes, you know how they are. They're a tough individuals. However, it was um, Mike Bennett that picked up the victory for his team. The Briscoes were about to cheat their way through, but however, um, all of a sudden we saw OGK were able to beat them without the use of cheating. Uh, but it seems like there is friction between the Briscoes against OGK because maybe they don't like the new OGK how they act. Who knows? Now this next match is a title match. Is for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship between Josh Woods and Jonathan Gresham. I have to say, best match of the night. The reason I say this, the Pure division is now something you gotta pay attention even more and more when you watch Ring of Honor, and I think it's a fantastic. And I have to say, I love it. But this match was dedicated by Josh Woods to his dad, who died weeks ago in from COVID-19. And I mean, it's sad, but however, the match was amazing. And I did not expect for Josh Woods to beat Jonathan Gresham. It's one of those moments where he was able to withstand every blow, every submission that Jonathan Gresham has pulled out of his bag of tricks. But this time it was Josh Woods that prevailed. Our next match is for the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team match. We have La Facción Ingobernable, consistent of Bestia del Ring, Kenny King, and Dragon Lee, taking on Shane Taylor Promotions, Khan, Moses, and Shane Taylor. Now, however, King decided to take advantage and try to take out Shane Taylor to ensure they have a right to win the match for these titles. But however, um, one of the members named O'Shea, was he? Um, O'Shea's, um, O'Shea Edwards stepped up to the plate to take Shane Taylor's place. But however, some of you say, can they do that? Yes, they're using what is called the Freebird rules. Basically, Freebirds had multiple people and they can use them for whoever's defending the tag titles. And that kind of works out in its own right. But I have to say, O'Shea did a pretty good job stepping up. And of course, Kenny King, I don't know what he was thinking. He probably thought it would be easy for them to win these titles, but however, no. Um, Shane Taylor Promotions were able to prevail once again, and of course, the feud between Shane Taylor Promotions and La Facción Ingobernable is far, far from over. The next match is the Ring of Honor or Women's title final match in the tournament. To crown a brand new champion, we have Miranda Elise and Roxy. I have to say this match was awesome. Reason I say this, Miranda Elise has a much better experience than Roxy. Roxy's been known as the prodigy who's been training and had more wins and matches in her belt more than Miranda Elise. So there's a lot of factors in this match going in. But however, Miranda Elise thought she could trash talk her, whatever she did to ensure she wins it. But in the end, it was Roxy who picked up the victory. It was a beautiful moment. Even her family was there to congratulate her. I think it was a beautiful moment. And if you tell me if I cried, no, I did not. I wish I did, but no. Now, the main event is a Ring of Honor World Title elimination match. We have Demonic Flamita, Brody King, EC3. Now, this was a very tough match, but I can tell you this. Demonic Flamita was able to ensure EC3 left, and then he somehow weaseled his way to ensure he and Bandito can take out Brody King, but Brody King was no match for Flamita. However, I have to say Bandito showed a lot of courage to take on a guy like Brody King, and he finished him off with the shooting star press, and it was unbelievably good. And then of course we had members of the foundation to congratulate him for a job well done. However, they were surprised visit by none other than Righteous. Now it's still unclear what's going on. Is Vincent making a play for the AEW World Title? Well, I don't know, but I definitely would like to find out. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Before I go and end it, I want to give out some small news update here. As you may or may not have been aware, Samoa Joe has vacated the NXT title and due to a injury he obtained, but it was not disclosed what kind of injury. Now, this is one of those things we could say, what the hell? But that's a conversation for another time. To me, hearing about that, that kind of put me in the question, like, what the hell just going on here? I wish I knew what was going on, but I don't. But we'll see what happens then. So, now coming up for the next episode, we have, of course, AEW's Dark Elevation. But I decided to review past events from between early this month and, of course, late last month. We have Black Label Pro and two events, and also two events by Absolute Intense Wrestling, which I'm excited to review for all of you, and I enjoy doing that a lot. So, but for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah, and have a nice day. Bang.